Welcome to In the Cut, the show that gets you up close and personal with BN and our community.
Good afternoon, evening, or morning. Whatever time you're joining us, we want to welcome you to In the Cut, the show that gets you up close and personal with Black non-believers and our community. My name is Edith Gray, and I'm your host for the show today. If you're new to the channel, In the Cut is a production of Black non-believers, a 501c3 organization. We're headquartered in the Atlanta area, where we connect with other Blacks and allies who are living free of religion and might otherwise be shunned by family and friends by providing a caring, friendly, and informative community. Instead of accepting dogma, we determine truth and morality through reason and evidence. And the mission of Black non-believers is to provide secular fellowship. We nurture and support non-believers in coming out. We encourage pride in non-religious identities. We educate the public on the history and current state of non-belief in the Black community. We organize events and charitable causes. BN welcomes all, regardless of their age, regardless of gender identity, sexual identity, national origin, or racial identity. However, our content and our work prioritizes Black non-religious voices. At this time, I want to welcome the founder and president of Black non-believers, Mandisa Thomas, to the show. Hey, Mandisa.
Hey, Edith. Hey, I'm doing all right. I'd like to thank everyone who is tuned in to the show today. I'm wearing my BN hoodie. It's a nice day to hear it, a nice day to wear it.
Yeah.
And, we have plenty in stock. We will let you know how you can get your own and at a discount, especially if you are an official BN member. So, and Edith is drinking from her BN mug and wearing her pink BN t-shirt. So, yes, we are repping today.
Getting for sale too. The mugs are
that's right. That's right. We got it all. We got it all for y'all. And so, we're still starting 2026. We are celebrating 15 years at Black non-believers, and we're going to be celebrating all year. And so we want y'all to stay tuned for some upcoming events, especially on Monday. We are going to be aggressively fundraising unapologetically this year, because we want to make sure that we continue the work that we do. We are trying to raise $50,000 for our 15th anniversary, and you can scan that QR code to donate. You can also scan it here, and you can also go to our website, or you can drop us a super chat. Super chats are always read live on the air. So we would appreciate if everyone spreads the word and supports the work that we do here at Black non-believers, so that we can continue to do so. And one thing I wanted to say was that, this weekend is, monumental. It's the weekend that we celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's held every third Monday of January. Now, his actual birthday was January 15th. And if his birthday happens to coincide with the celebration, then that's what we commemorate. But it's usually on the Monday as a federal holiday. Now, of course, as we know, the Trump administration is trying to roll back celebrations regarding this holiday, and I think that it's very sad to see. And also, January 16th, which was yesterday, was Religious Freedom Day, which signified that it's supposed to be the meaning of religious freedom, meaning also freedom from religion. So, which is something that we are seeing in this current day and time that is being eroded. And so I'm really, really I'm really, when we talk about allies and partners and collaborators, I'm really looking forward to our guest today, because, you know, as a fellow woman of color, you know, there are issues that impact all of us. True. That I think it is important. And this reflects in Dr. King's work, even though he was a, you know, even though he was a Christian by definition, right. He was very much a pluralistic Christian and a pluralistic leader. And I'm glad to see that that narrative is being reshaped and redefined, because people need to be aware of that. Right. And so if you had any, I don't know if you had anything to add, Edith, to that.
No, I think the Santa Clausification that mainstream media and the broader political leanings seem to do for Martin Luther King really need to be addressed and reversed, like you say. We need to really have a nuanced look at who this man was, not just that he was a Christian and that he said that all people, you know, the content of the character, which is, you know, a great idea, and it is. But there was just a lot more to him that really made him, that had he still been here, would have helped make a bigger impact on our community than he already did.
Absolutely. And one thing I'm dreading, particularly about Monday, is we are going to see a lot of people yes, that was a very good Santa Clausification. Love it. Yeah, I haven't heard that either. Edith be dropping some gems. Yeah, Edith drops some gems. I love it. Yes, and I'm not looking forward to all of the folks who are lauding Dr. King's words, but yet their actions are saying something totally different, especially when it comes to how people of color and people who are marginalized are being treated. It's like we are going back to the civil rights era and the struggles that the civil rights era fought for and prior to, all over again. Yeah. And it's like history is, you know, it's unfortunately repeating itself. Right. I remember seeing there was a status update about how there are folks comparing this time period to what happened during the Nazi Germany era. But for those of us who come from Black communities, know that there has been domestic terrorism in white Christian nationalist groups like the Ku Klux Klan for at least more than a century. Right. Our ancestors experienced this violence. They experienced the taking away and dismantling of rights, the dismantling of communities and community growth and opportunity. We've seen this in right here in this country. Yeah, it's I had thought about it in that light for a while too. Like, okay, this is 1930s Germany, but the regime that was in place in 1930s Germany, their playbook was what was happening here to Black folks. So it's you know, some people are just now saying, oh my goodness, how could you expect this? I'm like, this is they're saying this is an unprecedented time. And I'm saying this is Tuesday for Black folks. Mm-hmm. It's Tuesday. As well as other people of color, as well as women. I mean, there have marginalized groups. Yes, absolutely. Tuesday. But yeah, it is. And if you look at the struggles that Black communities have endured, especially in the United States, then you wouldn't be surprised at all. But also being like a history nerd, a history buff, right? There have been lots of labor laws that have been challenged that impacted all groups of people here in this country, because the rich only wanted to get richer and they didn't give a damn about those who worked under them, who were barely getting paid and who are not working in safe conditions. This has been a country that has never truly appreciated those who have actually labored for it. And while things had changed for the better, it took so much in the way of struggle. It took so much in the way of fighting for progress, just for people to, just for it to, you know, be rolled back again,
Right.
you know, and it's just like, oh my goodness, this is, yes, this is just absolutely insane. And yes, there were plenty of I mean, there were folks who were, you know, Black folks who were lynched just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, and it was just, you know, the history of that. And that is not to take away from what is happening now, you know, because it is horrendous and it shouldn't be happening. It really, really shouldn't. It's just so sad though that it's not so far from what has happened historically in this country though.
Right.
If you know, if you're a student of history at all, especially U.S. history.
Right.
So there's a lot to unpack here. But the one thing I want to say is that being as an organization is celebrating, in a community is celebrating 15 years. We cannot let folks take that joy away from us. We really, really can't.
Absolutely not.
We have accomplished so much in representing non-religious people, building our communities, connecting each other, contributing to research and resources, and collaborating with so many folks, and uplifting the voices of the marginalized non-religious folks that need to be heard. And that deserves to be celebrated in 15 years. And it deserves the support that we need in order to do it more. So we have a lot coming up this year that we want y'all to be a part of. We are going to continue our work, and we want to make sure that we are able to celebrate and embrace the hard work that we have accomplished in 15 years. And no one should be able to take that away from us. Not this administration, not anyone who likes to silence voices of the folks who need it and the folks who matter. So we definitely want to continue in this framework of celebration and accomplishment in the work that BN has done all this time.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that 2026 is going to be a stellar year for us, and looking forward to all the different events and activities that we will be engaging in this year to celebrate and also to just continue to promote our work. So, yeah. And with that, we also have to mention that you can become a member and support as a member. And we will give you some information on how to do that later in the show. And yeah, and we've got super chats that you can read throughout the process as we go through the show. So yeah, become a member. That's one really great way to help our organization continue its work. Yeah. Anything else, Mandisa?
Nope, we are ready to start with our special guest.
Well, good. Yeah, at this time, we would love to introduce our special guest, AJ Ruley. AJ is a content creator that focuses on science communication. While not a scientist, she's been an activist and enthusiast for almost 10 years. AJ was previously a host on YouTube shows produced by the Atheist community of Austin, and now is a host on the Skeptic Haven Network, in addition to her own channel, Ways to Human. I like that. When AJ is not spreading the good words of humanism and critical thinking, she spends time cooking, eating, reading, looking for new places to visit with her husband and teenager. Welcome, AJ. We're glad to have you on the show. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here.
Great. So as we ask all of our guests, can you share your upbringing, especially if you were raised in a fundamentally religious framework, how you arrived at your atheist, non-religious perspective?
It was a journey for sure. I was raised as an atheist, actually, up to the time that I moved to the US. I'm from Argentina originally. And so when I moved here as a teenager, we moved into the home of somebody who was very religious. And I had not been exposed to religion previous to that in Argentina. My exposure to religion was through the lens of it being a myth. we saw all religious books as mythical books. So I never really quite paid attention to the Bible specifically. And as we moved into the home of this family who were, the kind of people that will attend church every Sunday and, pray at home at the table, it was a completely different experience. And I would say that I very slowly started to be more open to the idea of Christianity. I didn't quite become a Christian at the time, but it was a slow process of, oh, well, if ghosts are real, then that must mean that, we have a soul, for example. Like very small things like that, things that are sort of ingrained in society. And later, in my early 20s, when I got married to a man whose family was very religious, I got pregnant, and our baby was diagnosed during the pregnancy with a heart condition, a congenital heart defect, as well as potentially something called trisomy 18, which is, I'm sorry, trisomy 13. 13 is a little bit different than 18, which is non-compatible with life. So at this time, I was about halfway through my pregnancy, and my husband's family began to encourage us to come to church, because the church that they went to, which was the Assembly of God, it is a Pentecostal denomination, which kind of comes from evangelical sort of undertones. They believe, like the Holy Spirit, speaking in tongues, divine healing. And divine healing was what most attracted me to it, because I myself had a lot of health issues. And so being pregnant with a baby that also had a lot of health issues, it was something that was very, gave me a lot of hope. And I think that's the thing, right? Religion often preys on people at their most vulnerable times, and so that they feel like they need that in order to give them comfort, to give them hope. And so I got really, really involved into that, into the this Pentecostal church, the Assemblies of God. I didn't myself get to the point of speaking in tongues or getting baptized, but I was reading the Bible a lot, and I was, I don't know, purity culture really took hold of me. A lot of feeling that religious experience, like you feel it out of your body when you go into the church and they bring you to the stage and they, sort of put their hand over you, and you feel all of the emotions. For me, that was proof, evidence that I was feeling the Holy Spirit or God, or whichever, that might be. And so that's how I got into religion. And funny enough, how I got out of religion was also because of my baby. Well, baby. At the time that I got out of religion was no longer a baby. They were 9 or 10 years old. So yeah, I was into that church for about 10 years or so. So by the time my child was 9, he had 2 open heart surgeries. So this was at the second heart surgery. We were in the hospital, and it was 2020. So it was in the middle of COVID. And my husband and I were the only people allowed in the room in the hospital. We were not allowed to have any visitors, and we could hardly get out ourselves. So I had a lot of time to think. And I remember a very, very specific night. This was the first night that my kid had just come out of surgery, and had all of the tubes, and like, huge scar all over the chest, and all of the equipment that was surrounding them in the ICU. And I couldn't bring myself to pray. Like normally I would pray and I would like make a big deal of making sure I wasn't having any bad thoughts, right? Because God was always listening. And so sitting there on the bed and being unable to pray, it started chipping at me. And the following night, it was kind of a very similar thing. It was just the two of us, and I was sitting behind the bedside, holding his hand, and wondering what kind of God will allow this. Because what exactly am I about to pray for? If I'm about to pray, hey, take away the pain, well, why is the pain there in the first place? Why does my child have to go through this surgery in order to what exactly? Teach me a lesson? Teach them a lesson? Punish my parents? Punish Adam and Eve? Like, who is benefiting from this? Because my child is not. And so that was it. That was the moment that for me, it all fell apart. It all fell apart.
Interesting. Yes, there seems to be in a lot of religious communities, this idea that suffering is either part of the plan, or it's just baked into it. We're supposed to suffer, which I don't know. Similarly, that was one of the things that I questioned that led me out of a belief in God. But so have you, the family that you moved in with when you came to the States, are you still involved with them? Do you think that anything that the way you presented yourself may have given them any opposite effect of maybe looking at the world from a non-religious lens?
Well, I am not in touch with them anymore. I was 15 at the time, and these were friends of my parents.
Okay.
And so, when we moved out of their house about a year later, we will go and visit them and stuff, but it was not. I was not as close to them anymore, and even their kids. They did stay more in touch with my older siblings because they were closer in age than they were to me. And so I think that was like a little bit of a different, but it was more like exposing myself to all of those religious beliefs that I had never heard of or experienced myself before.
Yeah, I was just curious about the opposite way of, like you said, you were young, so they probably would not have looked at you as an authority on anything non-religious. But yeah, it's all about exposure, and it's all about being around and really being with people who are different.
Yeah, I could definitely ask my mom that question because she was the very typical, very outspoken atheist. As we moved out of their home and into an apartment, sometimes Mormons will come knocking at the door. And instead of, being like, I'm not interested, she will be like, oh, come in for some coffee. And she will make them coffee and talk to them about religion and like push back at them. I thought that was pretty funny.
Interesting. Let me see. Yeah, that I had another question. So there was okay. And so why was it important as a Latin Hispanic woman to be vocal about your non-belief and humanism?
Well, I will say I think right now in our current political environment, it is so much more important, especially as a Hispanic woman who is now an American citizen. I can see the suffering and the fear of other people who don't have that extra privilege, right? And one could say, okay, I waited 20 something years to get my citizenship. I got it barely less than a year ago. And for me, up until that point that I got it, it was this thing that I could have in my hands that was gonna give me all of the safety that I needed. All of like, oh, I'm good now, and I'm an American citizen. There's no question. There's not gonna be anything that can take that away from me. But that's not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore, and we have to try to reach the people that can help those that are afraid. When you think about the people who voted for the current administration, right? They don't speak against, or they don't speak or act against what ICE is doing until it happens to their own families. And it's not an excuse, right? It's not an excuse for the way they're acting, but it's an explanation. It's an explanation, and it's important to differentiate the two. Now, they didn't see this very same thing happening to Black folks at the hands of the police. And they're not going to see what is happening to Hispanic and other immigrants and even fellow US citizens, right? Even white women who are citizens, until it happens to them. And I think that's why it's important as a Hispanic woman to speak up, especially a Hispanic woman who has that sort of, I have two extra privileges. One is being a US citizen, and the other one is kind of being a white passing, right? Because if you first meet me and you don't hear me speak, you may assume that I am, a little bit lighter skinned than the average Hispanic person. And so when we have that extra privilege, we have to use it to the benefit of others. We have to use it to speak up. We have to use it to stand up. I go to lots of protests as much as I can, as much as I feel safe to do so.
Right. Yeah, that's great. And so what is your, so you came to the States at a young age, and given, I don't know, I think I'm looking for statistics here now, and maybe you don't know this, but of the Hispanic folks that you have encountered here in the States, are they more religious than or less religious, or do you see the tide shifting as far as religious belief goes in the Hispanic community?
So I don't know the exact numbers, but I can tell you that from experience, in Argentina, when we were not exposed to religion, it was because we lived in a very, very rural area of Argentina. It was like we had no churches.
Oh, wow.
There was one school and one little tiny market, sort of, where we would buy our food. And if we had to travel anywhere else, the school was just a middle school. It wasn't even a high school. When my sisters and brother had to go to high school, they had to travel about an hour.
Wow.
To go to school.
Okay.
And so we were not exposed because that wasn't a thing in that area.
Okay.
But when we did live in the city for a short amount of time before we moved to the US, I could see it a lot more, but I was still young enough that I wasn't super involved in it.
Okay.
And I see it more now that I left than I did when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And Argentina is majorly Italian background, which I also have a pretty
Right.
large percentage of Italian background ancestry. And so because of that, the majority of Argentina is Catholic. And it seems to be the case as well in most other Hispanic countries.
Mm-hmm.
And being here in the US, I can't think of any of my Hispanic connections that are atheists.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And it's actually something I noticed of our online community as well. There is obviously a lot of white atheists in the community, and then there's Black non-believers. I haven't come across any type of Hispanic There is one, but it's not from the U.S. It's from a different country. I know it's Mi Experiencia Atea. It's a channel, and they do it in Spanish, but it's like it's just that one channel, and it's like it's not a big part of it's not very noticeable.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to interject for a moment, and I will be sending a link to HAFRE, which is Hispanic American Freethinkers. They have been around for about as long as Black Nonbelievers. And David Tamayo, who is the president, executive director, and his very, very outspoken wife, Hypatia Alexandria. She is fantastic. They're in the Washington, D.C. area. And so, yes, this is what we love to connect folks to. I'm gonna share the website in the chat.
Okay.
Because there is definitely, and I'll share it in our private chat as well, because there is the Hispanic American Freethinkers that are here in the US.
I love that. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. I appreciate that.
Somebody asked in the chat the name of the channel. Mi Experiencia Atea.
Okay, there you go. I typed it in there. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
So given, and we've probably touched on this a little bit with that second question, but given events in the secular world, what is crucial about showing care and empathy while also using evidence-based practices? Like, that's...
Oh, that is a good question. So when I first came into the secular community, I was very much the typical angry atheist, kind of wanting to take down the apologists and stuff like that. And as my thinking and content evolved, I try to focus a little bit more on what helped me deconstruct all of my supernatural beliefs and even bad ideologies that I was holding from religion. And that's how I started focusing more on science communication. And I think education is a big part of helping people know how to use evidence, and also at the same time, how to use that evidence to determine what is harmful and what is not harmful. And that connects you to part of like the humanism part of the secular experience, I guess you could say. Over the last year, I've had a lot of very difficult experiences, both outside of the community and within the community. And one of the things that really, really helped me be more empathetic and kinder and treat people with a lot more humanity and humanism was this book I read called Humanism from the Heart. It's by Steve Gigadis. It's a really, really well thought out book. I've sort of compared it to being a more modern Bible in a way. It's like you can get a lot of really positive messages, a lot of different ways to deal with difficult situations, difficult conversations. It helps you also think, hey, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong, as long as you take accountability for your actions, as long as you change your mind if you are given new information. And so I think that's a really good way for people to combine all of these aspects, humanism, secular life.
Things that I see when discussing these issues with religious people is there's a real resistance to being wrong.
Yes. So true.
When it comes to ideas and debating ideas, there's a real resistance to being wrong and
completely ignore evidence. Like the evidence can be right in front of them, and they will be like, nope, this is what I was told right here, so
Right.
that evidence
Mhm.
in some way has to be wrong.
Right.
I'm not wrong. The evidence is wrong. That sort of thinking.
Yeah. So that I think that comes from the indoctrination that religious people get as young children. But yeah. Now, for those who want to get involved but may not have the necessary resources, how do you recommend getting started? What would you say would be the couple of things people can do?
In activism in general.
Yeah, I think that was
Okay. Yeah, I would say
activism.
as far as activism, I got started what was that? 2017. So it was the first administration of the current government. And there was a lot of resistance and anti-science rhetoric out there. And myself, as I said, my kid had a lot of health issues. I have a lot of health issues. I've had a double cornea transplant, a cochlear implant. So science for me is really, really important. And seeing it diminished so much really hit hard for me. And I know that people want to be involved in all of the activism of all of the causes, but that's not realistic. You have to pick and choose what you're most passionate about, what you can actually reasonably get involved in. And like you said, resources are important too. A lot of people don't have financial resources to be able to donate or to be able to purchase things to, I don't know, run a whole organization or anything like that. And so at that time, I was one of those people. I didn't really have any sort of monetary financial resources to do much. So what we did was we reached out to the community, to the Houston community. And at the time, there was this March for Science movement, national movement, and there wasn't one in Houston. And so I started talking to other people. I mean, like, hey, what can we do? How can we create this group if none of us have any of the background? We don't really have a lot of the knowledge. We don't have any of the financials. And so we recruited a lot of people, volunteers that had different abilities, different skills, right? Hey, you can help us fundraise. You
Right.
can help us reach out to you're good at talking to people on the phone, so you can call all of these venues to see where we can host this thing. Okay, you can reach out to donors. You can reach out to speakers to come talk to us. And that's how you do it. That's how you do. You can't do it alone.
Right.
And you don't have to have a lot of money to do it. We set up ways to do fundraisers, selling merchandise, kind of like the same way that a nonprofit will bring in revenue and
Right.
finances. So yeah, I would say that's the thing, right? Like, choose your cause wisely, what you're passionate about, and what is local, either what you can start on your own, and if there isn't one, but if it is one, then it's better to go support what is already there. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Yeah, that was something we here at Black Non-Believers are working on as well, because since our organization started, we are now seeing more deconstructionism coming to the forefront, especially in the Black community. And so yes, bringing those, we want to make sure that we're not reinventing the wheel. And we're also, especially during this, it's constant, but it's more pronounced now, the need for and the idea of mutual aid and relying on the community is really where it's at. Because
if you see a national organization that is doing great work, and you see they have chapters in different cities, but they don't have it on yours, you don't have to be, I'm gonna start my own because there isn't one here. Reach out to them. They'll help you start one in your city, more than likely.
Right. Okay. Yeah, well, that's all the questions I had. Maybe Mandisa has some follow-up questions.
I just want to say thank you, AJ, for being on the show. And it was a pleasure because you and I met at NanoCon.
We
We
did.
met me, you, Kellie, Cynthia, and what was that your first secular event? And what was that like for you? Because one thing I like to encourage people to do is at least attend one in-person event if they can, because the online spaces are fantastic, but it is something else, and it is amazing to meet people in person. So what was that like for you, just being in person and being in a space with so many fellow non-believers, humanists and atheists of all backgrounds?
Yeah, I had only been to a very small one before, the year before. And so this was my very first big conference, like actual conference, with speakers and everything. And it was interesting because I had volunteered with them, NanoCon. I had volunteered with them doing social media stuff. And so they helped me be able to come there. And then they asked me to speak. And I was like, are you sure you're me?
Okay.
Really? So it was a double, triple amazing experience because like you said, it's so much different than seeing people online. Like this is great, but being able to give people hugs and just chatting there and talking and connecting even with people you hadn't quite met before. But everybody I met, it felt like we'd been friends for a long time. Everybody's just so welcoming and so open and warm, and they just make you feel really really appreciated and everything. So it was a really good experience, and I see so many coming up this year, and I really hope I can make at least some of them, because yeah, I completely agree with you. I think everybody should at least attend one of these. It's a completely different experience, and one that leaves you, you know when you're constantly doing activism or seeing all of the harm that is happening out there and all of this heartbreaking news, to have that weekend where you don't look at the news, you're not talking negative stuff, you're just building the community, you're building each other up, you're supporting each other, making new connections, making new friends, and like, oh, okay, next time I see you, we're gonna do this or that. And it's like, it's such a healing experience. It's a really really healing experience, and it recharges your battery to continue pushing forward.
Nice.
Awesome. Yes, yes. Thank
Really?
you so much, AJ, for being here with us. And we're actually want to see you again very soon on the BN channel, and we will be sharing that information very, very shortly. So
In the mean, oh,
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Edith. Go
I was
ahead.
just going to say, in the meanwhile, if you want to see more of AJ, she has a YouTube channel at Ways to Human, TikTok, Easily Amused 85, and Instagram, Ways to Human. So she's out there, and yeah, you can interact with her there and learn more about her work with humanism. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here today, AJ.
Yay. Well, that was another amazing show. And yeah, just really getting the year started off strong here on In the Cut, and just at BN and in the community. And for those of you who know this, we have our special 15th anniversary logo, which we have in button form, and also we have bags, and those are some of our official members have received some of these goodies, and we're going to have more to come. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for everything that we have coming up for the 15th anniversary of Black Nonbelievers in 2026.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, it's gonna be fantastic, y'all.
Yeah, speaking of 2026, we have some upcoming events in a couple of days here on January 19th, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. MLK Day live stream fundraiser featuring AJ Ruley, Matt Dillahunty, Candace Gorham, Cynthia McDonald, Arden Hart, Java and Jugs crew is going to be there. Godless Engineer, Bar is going to be back, and a lot more. So make sure you join that live stream and make a donation. Tell your friends, tell everybody we're here for it. So
yeah, we'll be live from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on our YouTube channel. So come in here from shout out to Ambush the Apostate. He was in the chat as well. Lil of all trades. They're gonna be here with us. Dr. Ben Hamilton. And so yeah, we're gonna hear from a lot of amazing colleagues and folks who mutually support our work. And so we really, and yes, of course, and AJ. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Kellie is gonna be there as well, Miss Detroit Atheist Queen. So please help. We need to get closer to that $50,000 goal that we have for 2026. We'd love to exceed it, but we definitely want to get started. And you can do so. And especially by hearing the very amazing and important work that BN has done over the years, and also what we are doing currently and what we are planning in the future. So definitely, yes, we're gonna get this ball rolling for 2026, and we hope that we will join us on Monday from 7 to 9 p.m.
And then on January 21st, Kellie's birthday live stream lunchtime fun. Yay, Kellie. So yeah, that's going to be from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. You can learn more about that at Detroit Atheist Queen. Is that on?
That's going to be on Wednesday. And so Cynthia and I will be in the building on that one, celebrating Kellie and her birthday. And that's actually the official anniversary date of Black Nonbelievers. January 21st is when we got started. So yes, we look forward to celebrating Kellie's birthday with her, and just also, just sharing, Kellie probably sharing once again her journey of, how she got involved with the community. And if you haven't checked out her episode of ITC, please do so. Check out all of the previous episodes of In the Cut.
Yes.
And please do give this episode a like and subscribe and share as well as all of them.
Yeah, the In the Cut library is chock full of very, very educational and entertaining episodes. People from all walks of life. You will learn a lot. So please get back into the deep cuts and let's, like to say, in the cut, and you'll find some very good stuff there. So next in January, we have on the 25th, there's going to be official members only game night and meet and greet. That's going to be a Zoom event, and you can become a member if you just get the link, and then you can also join in. So yeah, this is another one of the perks of membership. So I think we have a link to join. Maybe that's further.
Yeah, it's in the chat. It's in the description of it's in the description of the video, and we'll also share it in the chat.
Okay. Yes. And what else have we got here? We've got the birthday brunch. Okay. So then there's also a birthday brunch in Detroit. This is an IRL event. That's going to be for Kellie, the Detroit Atheist Queen. That's going to be from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Tiger Lily restaurant, I'm imagining. And then, there's some address information. But if you want to sign up for that event, you can go look on Meetup under the Black Nonbelievers of Metro Detroit events. If you would like to participate there. And then we're going to jump to June. So June 12 through 14, we have our Revival of Reason right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We will be celebrating the 15th anniversary and secular Juneteenth celebration. So join us for a major extravaganza. It's 2-3 days of just good times, gathering and celebrating. So we're going to have a location.
Yeah,
and
in the near future. Yes, we're still working on that, but
Yep,
yes.
yep, so yes, to be determined. Tickets will be available soon for that event. There's probably some stuff, but I'll let you fill in where I missed. But wanted to make sure that everybody knew that we are going back to our annual conference on the sea. It's called SeaCon 2026. We're going to be taking I won't say taking over, but yeah, we'll be on the Carnival Celebration. It's a 7-night trip. Sail dates are from November 29 through December 6th. Our pre-cruise event the day before, we'll be leaving from Port Miami, and we're going to be going to Isla Tropical, Roatan, Cozumel, Mexico, Celebration Key, Bahamas. We've got a great lineup of speakers. Godless Engineer, Mandisa Thomas will be speaking. Black Atheist Rants also, or
yes, we just added him to the lineup.
Yes.
So for those of you who are fans of Bar, and if you tuned into the first episode of In the Cup of the Year, that was another fantastic episode.
Yes, it was.
So please check it out. And we're gonna have Black Atheist Rants as a speaker on the cruise as well. So yeah, please. Absolutely. So get your deposits in now. They're due January 25th, but there is some wiggle room for those who need more flexibility. But please do get in your deposits as soon as you can.
How much are the deposits?
They start at $250. If you want a single cabin, that's $500. That information is on the SeaCon 2026 link. Yep. So and when you register through our group, you always get a welcome amenity, you get onboard credits, you get all sorts of goodies through BN, and official members will have their your discounts will be reflected in the subsequent payments, but you got to get in that deposit soon. So we got to make sure you secure your cabin, and then we can implement the discounts that we offer for official members. And again, it's not just open to official members, it's open to everyone. And we also have sponsorship opportunities for SeaCon, and they will be available for the Revival of Reason as well.
Okay. Yes.
So yes, let's get on board. Let's get on the celebration.
And the great thing about it is it's January. So if you're, if you have time to set aside some money every month to make that final payment, So yeah, I will be attending this year.
Yay!
Really look forward to that. But if there's any other events in the meantime, you can. So
I would like for everyone to put on their calendars, the 10th anniversary of the Ark Encounter protest, which will be taking place in July. Rocket City Reason, which will be in Huntsville, Alabama. Shout out to Casey and John. Also Godless Engineer, also known as Godless Engineer. I will be one of the speakers, as well as Bar and others. Seth Andrews is going to be one of the speakers as well, or presenters. And so we want to make sure that you know about all of the places where we will be hosting our events, but also where we will be appearing and where we will be tabling and exhibiting. And so those are just two of the events that you want to have on your calendar for the year, in addition to what we're doing. So, it's going to be an amazing year, and we look forward to seeing you at, if not all of them, definitely most. So definitely keep those events on your radar. We're going to share those links as well when they are. I know Rocket City Reason is available now. So definitely keep that on your calendar, because we want everyone to represent as much as possible at those events, especially since they're within driving distance. So, yeah.
Good. So yeah, we've talked about it a little bit earlier, but yes, you can become an official member of BN, and like Mandisa was saying, You will get discounts on ticketed events. You then also have the ability to vote for board officer positions. You can also run for those positions. This is not an organization that is top up down. We are linked shoulder to shoulder in this. And so we welcome anyone who wants to help our organization in a leadership role. And it's all part of Building Back Better. You can find information on how to become a member at Be an Official membership. And then wanted to also let you know, if you can sing at all, we're looking for tenors. This is, we've got the Godless Gospel Ensemble, and they are amazing. I have seen them perform. And if you love to sing, and maybe you were religious at one time and the music was fun and it made you feel some type of way, we have the Godless Gospel Ensemble for you, and it is for you. So you can submit an audition and become part of that group. And so, yes. And so the link for that would be godlessgospel.org. And as always, we're going to keep you posted on social media and on upcoming shows. So finally, if you're looking for a great gift to give at any time of the year, you need to pick up a copy of Name Dropping. It was created by one of our In the Cut guests. This is Deanna Williams and Jesus Reyna came up with this game. It is so fun. We've played it on the cruises before.
Yes.
It's a great time. You will really enjoy this game. So you can get a copy of that. So yeah, well, this pretty much wraps up this episode of In the Cut. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you will join us again. As a reminder, we air every first and third Saturday of each month. Please don't forget to like this video and spread the word. You can follow us on Facebook at Black Nonbelievers. We're on Instagram at Be Nonbelievers Inc. and X, formerly Twitter, at Be Nonbelievers. The B and the N are capitalized. I believe we're also on Blue Sky. Is that right, Mandisa?
We are. We're at benonbelievers.bsky.social. Okay. I got to reactivate that, get more active on that account. But yes, we are there.
Yeah, I think I opened an account and I haven't gotten back over there. So yeah, but you can subscribe to us on YouTube. Our channel is monetized, and we thank everyone for tuning in and supporting us and helping us to get monetized. We really appreciate that. You can find your local BN affiliate on Meetup. Yes, that's right. You could start your own chapter in your area. If you just go to volunteer with BN, bit.ly. I'm sorry, I'm getting it mixed up. bit.ly/volunteer with BN, but basically jump on there to meet up and find out how to do that.
Yes, and I gotta get back with some folks about starting some affiliate groups in different cities. We do want to make sure that folks are dedicated and are able to continue, to help facilitate consistently. So that is very, very important to the work that we do. So, organizer burnout can be real and but it is important, especially in this day and time. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this time of year, that tax deductible donation, it's almost tax time. I think you might be able to. Don't quote me on that, but sometimes donations made even in the new year could count towards last year. Don't quote me on that. You're
trying to get people in trouble here.
No, I guess that's something else. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make here is not only are you helping this great organization, you will also be receiving a tax deduction for your donations. So something to think about as we head towards tax time. Now, if you want to represent BN even more, like Mandisa's, she's got that good that's hoodie on today.
Nice and comfy.
Yeah, they come in different colors, y'all. You can get green, red,
and black.
and black. So there's t-shirts like these. There's other t-shirts with different sayings on them. There's mugs, coffee mugs, shot glasses, and some other merchandise that you can purchase from our online store. So please go to blacknonbelievers.org store-2 and take a look at the merch, at the swag, if you will. But yeah, that's where I'll leave it. And again, I want to thank everyone for joining us today and tuning in. And I hope you will take care, be safe out there, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.